This year was different. Usually by this point, I would have had my flyers made and posted up in the local libraries for several weeks now. I would have already had an ad running in the newspaper letting people know about the upcoming event. Everything would have been so well organized and just ready to go weeks in advance. But this year and this season, my life has been different. We've been changed as a family, and I have been changed as a person. Honestly, I've spent a lot of this year just simply hanging on by grace and love. There were moments when I wondered if anyone would even show up to the event. I didn't get the flyers out. In fact, I never got them even made. And I didn't get that call into the paper so that the ad would even run. And yet, somehow, despite all of that, people mailed hats. People showed up to the event with hats in hands, and I am forever grateful. So as I sit here putting away the signs and supplies from another year, I'm reminded that sometimes community carries us when we don't have the strength to carry ourselves. So today I want to sit down here and talk to you about the event that I had this year. I want to show you the hats that were made and brought to the event, and I want to show you the hats that were sent to me from you guys, because I had 2 people send hats, and I'm so grateful for that. This whole video is just about my thankfulness for you, the community, and my friends around me, my local community, because that's the whole purpose of this whole channel, is community and sharing a love of yarn. And that people are willing to participate from far away who've never even met me. That's meaningful, and that matters, and I'm grateful. It's also just started raining. Oh, this is my Waterloo Summer Berry. I love some sparkling water, y'all. Y'all just don't know. We go through a lot of sparkling water. So I have 2 boxes of hats that were sent to me by you, the community. I did kind of open up one. I just kind of glanced in there because they arrived the day that we were leaving for the beach to go as leaders with our church. And I just literally brought them out here, set them on the floor because I saw that they were for me and not something that my husband had ordered. And then we were off like the wind. So I haven't really looked in these since, and it's just been nonstop since then because I've been waiting to sit down and have this video with you and experience their beauty and glory together. This is from Miss Debbie, and she is in New York. So Debbie, thank you so much for sending some hats. Okay, wow. Oh, these are so cute. This is a box of adorable hats that Debbie from New York has sent to me. I see some cute bear hats. Let's look at them. Let's go with the cute bulky bear hats first. Hers look so much nicer than mine do. I love the velvet, like purpley one. Oh my goodness. Let me set the box down. Hang on. It's gonna be crazy. This is so cute with this little look at that. That's adorable. This is really more maroon than what is showing up on camera. It looks like a country red rust on my side. I may need to adjust my color a little bit. But that has this cute little whatever, that little fringe. I love that. And then we have this cute little bear hat. So pretty. Another little bear hat. A cute little beanie. Another bear hat. I really, really like this yarn. I don't know what this is. This is nice. Miss Debbie, if you see this, let me know. Oh my goodness, there's a Dotson! I hope this is for me! Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Okay. Another bear hat. Hold it together, Kim. Hold it together. Another hat. This is a cute stitch. What that is. Oh, that's pretty with the white trim. Love the detail and the texture. Oh, another little scalloped edge. I do love a scalloped edge. That is so cute. I think I like these. I think I have this jar. I don't know what the jar is, but it looks very familiar to me. Love that. Oh, there's a little bib. And there's a card. I'm like seriously crying, y'all. The Dotson just did me in. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, it's a cute card. It's got jam on it. Who doesn't love some jam? I actually I get their advent calendar. Well, I used to all the time. I love them. So cute. Also, I put a little something for you. Thank you, Debbie. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I love the Dotson so much. Cutie pie. Cutie pie. What do you think? Do you see it? Look. It's a little you. What do you think about it? I'm sorry I woke you from your nap. She is doing good, by the way, from her surgery. She had to have several teeth pulled. We'll talk about that at the end. Okay, back to the hats. Thank you so much. I really love the Dotson. So the next box is from Brenda, and she is in Illinois. It is so full. Do you see all those? Wow. So we're gonna look at these. I don't know what yarn she used, but it is very soft. I love these little two-tone hats. These are so cute. Oh my goodness. Love that with a bow. So cute. These remind me of Auburn War Eagle. If you're a football fan, you know that I live in Alabama, and our state is divided between Alabama and Auburn football. So cute. I really love the brown. Love that one. And then there's a purple. Love the detail with the colors. That's actually a black. It's kind of not really being able to see on the camera, but this one has purple in it. These are very cute. This one has the black. You can see it right there. Very cute. Very nice. Thank you so much. Love these, and I love the green and white. That flower. That flower is so cute. It's actually a little bow, not a flower. Love these for the Auburn. Love the brown. But this little bow, that's adorables. So cute. So thank you so much, Brenda. I truly appreciate those, and I know that Save a Life will appreciate those as well. So the next ones I made. So I'm going to show you what I actually got done. I weighed them this morning. I had 44 grams of yarn left. I probably could have got one more baby hat or maybe two, but I wanted to utilize that yarn for a future project, and I've been trying to figure that out in my mind yesterday, but I can't figure out what I want to do. I'm very indecisive. But I did make one of these. I think I showed this before. I need to snip that little end. I have one little end to snip. But I made that out of the Sweet Delights yarn. And then I bought that Red Heart bitty stripes when I went to the Ark. And I made hats out of it because I just thought it would be really cute baby hats. And I think I was right because these are adorable. I really love how these turned out. So I made 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
and 10. I forgot. I think it's like over 400 and something yards of yarn that I use for these baby hats. So quite a bit. So I'm excited about those. I'm going to put those in the pile. And then I'm still making the ears for the bear hats. They're over there. I'm going to get those done today or tomorrow and hopefully get all these hats dropped off by Friday. That's my goal. However, right now I don't have a car, and we'll talk about that later on at the end of this video. So the next ones I got at the actual event, Yarn Bug, who you've seen comment before, bring some crochet hat. Oh, I actually made 11. There's my 11th hat. I thought I had another one somewhere. Yarn Bug brought some crocheted hats for me. I'm going to show you those. And I appreciate her sending some because she sends a lot of hats to. Why can't I think of your name right now? Miss Terry from Yarn Joy. Miss Terry from Yarn Joy is always taking up baby hats, and I know she sends hats to her, so I appreciate her sending some to me. But she sent a good helping of baby hats for me. I'm going to show you those because they're cute. She did like a little front post action on the brim of those. Some newborn and some baby size. Got a little tasselness going on. So cute. I love, and yes, babies do come in this itty bitty size. I love the pastel rainbows. This is the same yarn I think I'm using to make my dragon, and I've been itching to work on him, so I'm probably going to take him in today and work on him. A little green one. This is pretty. I don't know what this is, but I like this colorway. A little front post action there. A pink one. A red one. A smaller pink one. And then this is the color. Is this bamboo pop or something like that? I don't know. I don't know why that color always sticks in my head. It's something pop. You'll have to let me know down below. And probably some of you are watching and like, no, that's not right. Just let me know down below. And some more front post action. So thank you so much, Yarn Bug. And that is Lori, my friend. She brought all this to the event. And so with that, Miss Shawnee, she also knit some. Love the cut curls. Look at those pretty little stitches. So cute. Love. I wonder what yarn this is. Nice. So those were knit up to me by Shawnee. And then I had one more little bag that has some really cute knit hats. So these are from Miss Barbara. I showed some of her makes last time I did this donation drive. And I love that she prints off instructions on how to care for the item. And it tells about the yarn that she used. Love that so much. So this is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and she has the washing, but look how cute. And then she uses this little pattern, and it always has, she prints off a little thing that goes with it. So it says, I love cozy mysteries, and one of my favorite series is the Aunt Demi series by Colorado author Nancy Altern. It's based off a pattern from a book, and I love that she includes that in and attaches them to the hat. But she makes this one. Look at this little cute part right here. I love that. That's adorable. And then she knit this blue one. And then this one. I really love the speckle yarn. And then this is the same yarn, I think, with a blue speckle. So cute. Thank you so much, Miss Barbara. I appreciate that very, very much. And those are the hats that I have. And I will tally all those up once I get done with my ears, and I will maybe make a post about that, but I'll probably put the number here. Total hats that I have for the donation. So thank you so much for everyone who sent hats, made hats, and just kind of watched that video to get it pushed out. I truly appreciate it so much. Also, while I was there, Miss Barbara had brought something else that she had knit, and I want to show that because it's just so adorable. So she knit this little baby jacket. How cute is this? I think this is the baby surprise jacket by Laura Zimmerman, which is a pattern that I have put up to make. I think that's what this is. But she already made the buttonholes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get buttons and I'm going to sew it on there. And she really didn't say what to do with this. So I may have to put this up for a future grandchild because I just love it so much. I think it's so pretty. But she was just testing out the pattern and her tension, she said. But I mean, it's like spot on, gorgeous, and amazing. And I love, 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 love. So I'm going to take it and find some cute buttons to put on there. And then we'll go from there. I had a gift of this that was gifted to me. And this stuff is so cool. It's kind of purpley. It's Lanes de Nord, and it's the Blitzen. It is a hand wash only, and 100% Lane Merino, color number 7. But it has these like bloopy yarns, bloops of yarn in them. So this would be considered a novelty yarn. But when I saw this, I like knew exactly what this was gonna be. There's a string somewhere. Oh, that's where it's tied. And I'll have to show you that later. You guys stick around. And when we make this, it'll be kind of cute, I think. So that's excited. Thank you. I don't know if I'm supposed to say who gave this to me, but you know who you are, and so I appreciate you. And then that person also gave me this. I don't know what this is. This is like a natural yarn. I do love natural yarns. It's a good bit of it. Um, I think this will probably soften up a lot with wash. I'm going to figure out my yardage on this and do something with it. I have ideas on what I want to do with it, but we'll have to see. I gotta figure out the yardage on it first. But love the natural color. It's somewhat scratchy, but not really scratchy. It's just a unprocessed yarn, and I'm okay with that. I love unprocessed yarns. So also at the event, I gave out door prizes, and I was so thankful that I was able to do that. I did have a couple of things I didn't give out. They're just little small needles. And I also I also had taken this trash bag or 2 trash bags of yarn that came from my own acrylic stash and my mother-in-law. Mostly my mother-in-law's acrylic stash, and then there was a big cone of cotton. And I gave those to whoever wanted them that was there. And some of the yarn didn't get claimed, and that's fine. I brought some of it home. Well, actually, I brought all of it home because I wanted to take it to the library and leave it there for when people come in who want to learn to knit and crochet, they can have access to yarn to use. And we have a library group, so they will help distribute that. But I did bring some of it home. So I brought this was already mine, so I just brought it back. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with it later on. It's just some kind of Universal Yarn Starlight, I think it's what it's called. I bought this a long time ago at Tuesday mornings for $4, but it just needs to be something fun, I think. And then I brought home this baby yarn. This baby yarn was at my mother-in-law's house. And I have a blanket that I think my mom is knitting my oldest. My mom started knitting it when I was pregnant with my oldest. I don't think she's got past the 12 by 12 square yet, but she's gonna get there one day. And so I brought home this in case I need to use that to help complete that one day. And then I brought home it in a yellow. This is the Burnett Coordinates. This is a really old no dye yarn. Sport weight. 75.2% acrylic. Gotta get that 2% in there. And 2.6 nylon and 22.2% acetate. I don't know what that is, but it's like that yarn. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure we've all seen it. So I brought that home. And yeah, now I gotta put that in stash and do something with it. So we had to take a quick break. Princess had to go potty, and I needed some lunch because I have a headache. I'm trying to get rid of it. I wanted to show this. This was also a package given to me at the Worldwide Knit and Crochet and Public event. And in here, we have some of the Knitting Barber. These are the, or this is, what? What is it? This is the tubing that you put on the tips of your needles so you can slide your stitches onto waste yarn. You just leave it on the cable. And then when you need to put them back on the needles, you just slide them, put this back on the needle and just slide everything. I love this stuff. I use it all the time. And I can never get enough of it because I usually cut it to keep in different bags. And then in here was also some stitch minders. They just go on the back of your stitches or the end of your stitches to keep your needles from sliding off. Y'all see me use these all the time. These are very small holes, so I would definitely be using these for my 0 and my size 1 needles. So very thankful for those. And then she had these in the back, and I saw these and I was like, oh, and my heart just dropped because this is the Pacific Knit Co. Rhinebeck Doodle card deck. So I have one of the books, but you get all these, you collect the card decks, which is what this is. Each of the cards have a different pattern on it for color work, and then you can just kind of mix and match all the patterns and apply them to different kind of projects. And I love things like that. I love how intuitive that is and how it allows you to kind of really be your own designer, because you can use plain vanilla patterns and then like bougie them up with some color work, so to speak. But this is the Rhinebeck. It's like focusing on Cutie Pie. The Rhinebeck Doodle card deck. And yeah, they're so cool. They're so cool. So it says how to use your color deck. So it's just like a deck of cards. And it says choose your theme. Pick the doodle deck theme that you want to use and mix and match. So there's different ones. This one just happens to be inspired by Rhinebeck, but there's like a Halloween, there's a Christmas, there's a fall, there's a spring. I mean, there's just a gazillion of them. And then it says choose your pattern. Each deck contains 2 cowl patterns. Use any doodle series pattern though, so you can mix and match. Choose your yarn and start knitting. So there's 2 patterns in here. There is a Infinity cowl, and then there is a stranded color schematic. So you can see the 2 different patterns there. And on the back of these, it has the directions. And then once you pick what you want, or you can use them for socks, you can use these in basically anything. You just need to figure out how many repeats you have and if you need to put any kind of like pillar stitches in between them so you can meet the stitch count. Super cute idea. And then you pick your doodle deck card. So all these are different colorwork patterns. Love that. This one has a sweater. There's trees. There's socks. There's a sweater. There's a plain sweater. Some alpacas. Alpacas? Some bunny rabbits. If you've ever been to Rhinebeck, I have not, just so you know. But if you ever go, there is like this big barn and there's like all these animals, and they do have like I think they have like breed showing, so you can see the different animals and see the top of the pick of the litter, I guess you can say. And you can even buy their fleece. There's some sheeps, more sheeps and leaves. Rhinebeck usually happens, or it does happen, in kind of the fall, and it is something that one day I would love to go to. So, super excited, super thankful to get those cards. I love that I am able to have this event. I love that I was able to, despite everything that was happening in the past year of my life, able to put on this event. I am thankful that I remembered to reserve our pavilion because that would have been horrible. The park was pretty full that day. There was some kind of competition for, I think, dance or cheer happening, and it was a lot of people. So I'm thankful that I had the foresight to reserve really early on before things started getting crazy. And I plan on doing that again this year. I do wish that I had talked about it more on local groups. I did have a good bit of people come. I did have about 15 people come and sit and hang out for a couple hours. We are in Alabama, so I can't remember the high that day. I think it had to be close to 90, if not higher. And so it was very hot, and it gets very humid in Alabama. But the pavilion that we rent does have 3 ceiling fans and its own a little pond, lake. They call it a lake. It's a pond. It's a big pond, but it's a lakeish pond. And so there was breeze coming in from that. And then I had bought 2 box fans. But there is a big building you can go in and get air and like water and stuff there. But everyone brought their own water. And so it was kind of overcast a little bit. And I think that really helped keep some of the heat off of us because we've been out there before in the past and it was just like unbearable. I remember the first or second year that I had this, we were out there and we were closer to the water. We were one of the smaller, much older pavilions. And first of all, I was shocked that it was to rent that thing. It was like $80 for the day, even for a couple of hours. And I paid it out of pocket. And I remember being out there and it just got so hot. I got such sunburn on my like neck and my face from the rays of the sun bouncing off the water and hitting me, and I was just a fair complected person, and I didn't put on sunscreen because I'm like, I'm gonna be under this awning. Yeah, there was also no fans, and the geese are the like geese. Well, there were some geese, but there's a lot of just wild ducks, and they were like harassing us. It was a lot of fun though, and then I think the next year I had it at a pavilion that was more in the park and it was up under trees. I thought surely that would help. It didn't. Then I think that year we just had a bunch of like the no-see-um bugs and we still had to deal with the geese and the ducks because they thought we had food. So I think the year after that we had it like maybe in the mall somewhere. At some point we had it in the mall. That was fun. Except our mall is pretty much like every other mall in America has gone down the hill and there's just nothing in the malls anymore except for a few food places and they're not my favorite. Well, there is a Chick-fil-A, but so then we started having it in this bigger pavilion. And when I first called and asked about how much it was to rent this pavilion, I like to had a heart attack because they were like, it's $180. And I'm like, for the pavilion? For just a couple of hours? She's like, well, you rent it for the whole day. And I'm like, still for a couple of hours? And then she proceeded to ask me what my event was about. And I told her it was a community event. And she's like, oh, well, we can let you have it for free. So shout out to my town for letting me have this pavilion for free every year because they have done so every year since then. And I just have to call and reserve it like way in January. And I don't mind doing that because I don't have $180 to shell out for this pavilion that we use for 2 hours. But I'm very grateful for the turnout of the event, for all the hats that were made. I did not let Cutie Pie go because it was so hot and she's on antibiotics. And I was afraid that she would get sick out there and just overheat. Isn't that right? Hmm? What do you think? Yeah? She agrees. She doesn't live for antibiotics. But I thought I would talk about. I'm afraid you're gonna fall off. come here. I don't want you to fall. Okay. I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of like what's been happening in my sphere of life. So I've not been very active in the Ravelry threads. I've not been very active in the Discord. It has literally been nonstop. So we went to the Ark. You saw that video. We went to that. We came home. I think we had like a week and a half, and then we had to get ready to go to the week of Panama City Beach, Florida. We had about 80 something students, maybe it was a little bit more than that, and then the rest for all adults and chaperones. And we were there for a whole week. Came home on Friday, did some laundry, went to church on Sunday, and then our church's VBS started that Sunday night. That didn't end till Wednesday. And then Wednesday morning, I had my mammogram. So this is a reminder. If you have not got your mammogram for the year, go ahead and schedule that right now. I'll I'll wait for you. Go ahead and pause the video and make that, or at least write it down to make that appointment. Okay. And so then I was supposed to have a car appointment on Thursday because when we got back from our trip to Panama City, my check engine light came on. And I called and they were like, well, Miss, we were actually going to call you because I had to call and confirm what time it was because I didn't really know. And she's like, we need to move your appointment to Monday. The dealership only has apparently 4 people that can work on the car that I have with the check engine light that are certified or whatever. And so one of them left the company. The other one's on a leave of absence because of a family emergency. And so it just leaves 2 of them. And they were like, we can't fit you in today. Excuse you. She just burped. I don't know if the camera heard that. I apologize. But so they moved my appointment to Monday. I was like, okay, great, thanks. So Friday I go buy groceries, and so I take my car to the appointment Monday, and the guy goes over some stuff with me. I hand him my keys, and he's like, did you need a rental? And I'm like, why would I need a rental? And he was like, because it may be a little bit. And I thought he meant just like a couple of hours. And I was like, no, I'm good. I don't plan on sitting here. My husband's going to take me home so I can hang out. And then y'all just call me and let me know when the car's ready and we'll come back and pick it up. He was like, no, I don't think you understand. Do you need a rental for the couple of days? And I'm like, I'm not getting my car back today. And he's like, no. And I was just kind of like, bummer. So I'm like, am I getting my car back tomorrow? He was like, probably no. So I don't know when I'm getting my car back. So whenever I do get my car back, and I didn't get a rental because we have an extra vehicle here that I can ride, the husband's truck or my son's truck. But when I get that back, I'm gonna get all these hats donated and to save a life, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be able to get these to them. But yeah, it's been a doozy of a week. I also really plan on, now that things have stopped as far as events. I don't have any other summer camps I'm doing. Our church has another summer camp. I just can't do it. I'm so stinking tired. I can't feel like I get caught up on sleep. So I'm hoping to really focus on that this week. Last week, between all the other stuff, I just couldn't ever sleep. There was just so much on my mind. So I did sleep like pretty late this morning. I wanted to get this started earlier, but I needed to sleep. So I'm hoping to get more time back into the Discord channel and kind of get in there in the comments and talk to you a little more. So I do greatly apologize for my absence. We come home, I lay down and I'm out. I haven't really even knit. I started crocheting a little bit the other day. I finished one of these hats and then I fell asleep with it in my hands. So the goal this week is to, okay, I had to slide her so she's still in my lap, but we had to finagle to get the bag. So these are the 4 hats that I already made. So my goal this week is to really make the ears for these, and I have a little bit of this yarn left over. I may try to squeeze one more hat out of this. We talked about this yarn before. I don't love this yarn, but I think it's just I'm not a very good crocheter, and so I have a hard time seeing the stitches. So I had to resort to basically a stab it and hope for the best kind of method, which it worked decently. But I did have that whole other skein of this, and I don't enjoy crocheting with it. Maybe knitting, it would be something different. I do have several projects that are knitting that are planned with yarns like this, but crocheting is definitely not my friend. So that other skein of that I actually wind up gifting. So at our trip to Florida, we had 19 girls on our bus. My husband drove a bus, and I had the girls in my cabin because there's several cabins and they're all split up. I think I like wound up having 10 of them in my cabin. But on the bus, there were 4 people with yarn, including me. 3 of the girls had brought their own yarn. They all crochet, and I had a prize to give for the most cheerful heart person in my cabin. I have a prize to give to someone who displayed the fruits of the spirit, which is in Galatians 5:23 2 through 23. So I chose someone who displayed all those to receive a little thank you gift. And it turned out that I really needed two. Why are you trying to smell my yarn? It turned out that I really needed 2 gifts. So one of the gifts I gave because I had it there because it was gifted to me to give out to someone. And the other one, when I got home, I just gave her that skein of yarn because I knew that she can use it. She actually crochets and sells at little markets. It's so stinking cute. And I figured that would be a color that she can use. I knew it was a yarn that she's already used prior. So that's where that went. So it's no longer in my stash. So I'm not going to even account for it. Why can't I get that word out? Like it was even here. I think this event's been a little bit something more for me this year. I've always enjoyed putting this event on and seeing my friends. And over the years, it definitely shifts as far as how many show up because people move off. People unfortunately pass away and new people come. And I think that's great. I love that I get to experience all that and meet new faces. I miss all the ones I don't get to see naturally. But I think this event is just as important in my life than it is to have it for other people to come to. And I know it's not, I don't want to make it sound like it's this grand thing because it's not. But it is nice to have a community come together because we share projects, we share hardships, we share losses, we share joys, and we share accomplishments. And it's easy to fall in the mindset where you are getting involved in the things around you, like this house clean out, and it takes a lot of your time. And so it's easy to kind of fall into that hermit mindset. And this kind of forces me to come out of that. And I appreciate that because I do have issues with that. I am someone who I would be just as happy never leaving my house or just kind of focusing on my family. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that simple life. I don't have Facebook on my phone anymore. I took that off completely. I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore. So the only thing I have now is YouTube. I don't even have Discord on my phone. I just have all that stuff on my computer because if you've been watching my videos, I really am longing for a simpler life where things just kind of allow me to be more creative. And sometimes those things do hinder me from being as creative as I want to and creating as much as I want to. So if I don't reply to an email immediately, please forgive me. Please show me grace. I saw that Miss Brenda had messaged me about getting the hats, and I really thought I messaged you, Brenda. I really thought I replied and said I got them, but I think that might have been when we were coming back, maybe from one trip, or maybe my mom had got the box for me when we were gone. I can't really remember, but I apologize for that. But we do need quiet time. We do need our alone time. But we also need together, and we need to celebrate each other. And I think that's what brought me joy out of this event this year, huh, baby? That, and knowing that she did so good at her dental appointment. She was boarded the whole week, and they had to pull several teeth, and she had to get some shots and some antibiotic from the dental work. But she's doing good. I did have to sign a paper, and I did agree to get blood work done on her before her dental work, because they said because of her age, there was a big chance that she would not come out of it. And so I opted in for the blood work to make sure that it wasn't going to be the last time I got to see her. It was very hard going and not knowing, you know? So we're done. We're done going places without her for a long time. No more putting her to sleep, hopefully, for any kind of dental work or anything. She is doing good though, aren't you? Yes. That's all I got for today. So we are going to go inside, and I'm going to get her ready for dinner. She eats about 3:30, and we're going to rest, and I'm going to work on those hats. And I will see you in the next one.